Eugene Atwell.
You're watching a Fraser Focus. It's all about local faces
And local places. Here's a look ahead at today's show.
October is in the air. Have you found your perfect Halloween costume yet?
The reports are in, we're living longer and wanting to look younger. We investigate the rise of non-surgical cosmetics.
Our Did You Know segment is back. This time we are exploring eggs. How exciting!
Covering the region from Delta to Hope.
You're watching Fraser Focus. Let's get on with the show. I'm Leah Bolton.
I'm Dean Atwell.
Fraser Focus, a fresh perspective beyond the bridge.
Well, hello. You don't happen to have some candy for a sweet little old lady, do you? Give it to me.
You're watching Fraser Focus, local faces and local places. It is October and Halloween is fast approaching. We're gonna go check out some cool, affordable costume ideas.
Hey guys, let's go.
I'll show you a couple samples and we'll go from there. Okay? Let me show you where our use section is, Grace. We can dress up a family of 4 or 5 for probably $50, $75. Like, I mean, it's way more affordable.
And meanwhile, I'm thinking 50 bucks and I'm like, oh, that's a good deal for a costume.
No. Ariel from The Little Mermaid. I mean, I could put a costume together for hippie. A little girl for probably under 30 bucks. White shirt, white socks, black shoes.
Maybe with that, maybe I can be one of the LOL dolls. That one is that
This one?
Oh,
That's the perfect one, hey?
Yeah, that's the...
Oh, perfect. So we have the poodle skirt. Awesome. All we need is a white shirt with long sleeves, and we can find that in the girls section possibly.
Yes. I had a girl come in yesterday and she's making her own like clown costume. So she came and got a corset and she's gonna glue some spiders on the corset, and she made like, I guess she said it was like a full length skirt, and she said it goes all the way out and she made it. So that was really cool.
That is the LOL doll and that is the Grace. Woo.
The top was at $249, so another $250. Actually, even better. Yeah, she scored under $15.
Whoa, under 15 bucks.
See? Hot five.
Costumes, we're looking at them for him, and for $3.99, can't beat the price.
Everything's so expensive these days, especially you've got 3 kids, right? Or unless you have ones that are not here.
No, just 3. And yeah, if you go to the big box stores, they're like $39.99 per costume. So we come here, and for under $20, you can outfit them all.
Ninja, Kaden. Oh, there we go, Ninja.
Try it. Let's bring a couple to try.
Brand new ones. Yep. Sometimes it costs like $100 for a costume.
I know, especially for an adult, and especially when you can come in and find and like make your own costume back here too. That's what we like to do. Just kind of mix and match. But yeah, can't go wrong. You were an army guy last year that we found here. And this year you're going to be a clown, right?
In today's society, we have like gas going up, and everything else is going up. We're there to kind of help people. Like, we want to make sure that they have a good Halloween, they find the costumes they need with the budget that they can afford.
And it's a little lion costume, right?
Yeah.
So cute. Nice. And how much is that one?
$7.99.
Super affordable.
Throw some blood on her.
When people run out of like fake blood, my solution is milk, corn syrup or cornstarch, red food coloring. You mix it up. If you want to go more thicker, less milk, more cornstarch, more red food coloring, to make actual fake blood. To make like wounds, you can get like tissue paper.
You want me to try this one?
Yep.
That's supposed to dress
Okay.
There you go. Yeah.
All right,
You nailed it.
Stop monkeying around. You're watching Fraser Focus. Stay with us.
There was a stigma with aesthetic medicine about 20 years ago. People were embarrassed to say that they did go to a cosmetic physician like myself to have a cosmetic treatment. That stigma no longer exists.
Fraser Focus is brought to you by the Chambers of Commerce Group Insurance Plan, Canada's #1 plan for employee benefits.
April, what's concerning you when you look at your face?
The crow's feet concern me.
Over here.
And the lines on my forehead.
On the forehead lines here.
As the Canadian population gets older, so do our efforts to maintain youthfulness. As such, non-surgical cosmetic procedures are on the rise.
MD Cosmetic, this is Rebecca.
I think that there was a stigma with aesthetic medicine about 20 years ago. People were embarrassed to say that they did go to a cosmetic physician like myself to have a cosmetic treatment. What we found over the past 20 years, that stigma no longer exists, both for men and for women. In fact, the #1 source of referrals we have today is from our existing patients. We're making people look better longer.
So April, what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus in on the darker spots here, okay, down low.
When I do look at you, like most men, I do see strong frown lines. And if we just did a little bit of Botox, exactly, do that again for me, and that frowning there, that's going to get stronger with time. The muscles are going to get stronger, thicker, and the lines are going to get deeper. So a little bit of Botox there will make you look fresh and rested.
There we go. We're good.
You're good? Okay.
I think because aesthetic cosmetic procedures are in the media so much, it has become something that is very popular for anyone to try nowadays.
We could even lift the cheeks up a little bit.
You're one of the first that came out here to the Fraser Valley with some of these techniques and some of these procedures.
Yes, our approach is really to not overdo it. We're really a minimalist clinic. We promote less is more.
So a hydrofacial is a dermal infusion device. So it helps to exfoliate the dead cells off the surface or the stratum corneum of the skin.
You're essentially shampooing and hydrating your skin.
Exfoliating and conditioning the skin at the same time. So we're gonna do PicoSure today.
Well, I come out here because I trust the doctors here and the staff.
And that's important, especially when you get in these, I mean, they're non-invasive, they're non-surgical, but these cosmetic procedures can make a big difference.
Yes, exactly. And if they didn't know what they were doing, they could scar you, or you could, walk out of here swollen or bruised.
A small amount of our serum onto the skin.
I think that we essentially want to look as good as we feel. And nowadays we're living healthier lives. We're watching what we feed ourselves, and I think that's part of the big picture.
Recent cosmetic studies indicate that a hydrofacial is performed somewhere in the world every 15 seconds. Essentially, that's over 2 million of those treatments globally. I'm Dean Atwell, and you're watching Fraser Focus.
But because here in Canada we wash all our eggs, that actually shortens the shelf life because the eggs have a natural coating on them that causes them to last a lot longer.
You're watching Fraser Focus, Local Faces and Local Places. What are we exploring today in our Did You Know segment? Eggs.
The belts over there, they bring all the eggs up to the front of the barn that the chickens lay in the nests. And then this takes the time to make sure all the eggs are pointed the right way. As a farmer, we always see it this way with the kind of pointed end down. And because that helps the eggs be stored better, so that when you boil it or things, you get that proper shape where the air bubble is at the broad end. We'll knock on the door to warn them we're coming in.
What is the realistic shelf life of an egg?
So the shelf life, to me, because I take the eggs right off the farm, they're not washed or anything, is something like 6 months. It's a very long time.
What?
But because here in Canada we wash all our eggs, that actually shortens the shelf life because the eggs have a natural coating on them that causes them to last a lot longer.
Did you know you can tell the difference between fresh and unfresh eggs with a bowl of water? The bad egg will float and the good egg will sink to the bottom. Let's test them. There you go. This one, no good, and this one, time to eat. Sometimes it's a bright yellow, sometimes it's not. Do you know why?
So the color of the yolk is decided by the feed that the chickens get. This farm here, this is a free-range farm, and we feed them a veggie-based feed.
Did you know that egg yolks are one of the very few foods that are a naturally good source of vitamin D?
Some feed, they add a vitamin D that comes through into the egg.
Woo! Scared of me.
Others, they focus more on omega fatty acids and things like that. So it really depends on what egg you're buying.
Did you know that eggs contain the highest quality protein that you can buy?
On their own, they're the most bioavailable protein that's out there, which means that out of the 7 grams of protein you get in an egg, your body gets the most use out of that compared to all other protein sources.
So what's the deal? Cage-free, natural, free-range, certified organic? What does it all mean?
Yeah, so there's lots of different types of farming. You can farm in a cage, you can farm cage-free, free-range, organic. This farm, we're free-range, bigger egg. That means the birds go outside every day and that they're completely free roaming in the barn, as you can see.
Eating my boots. Here they go. Uh-oh.
They're just always interested in something new.
So they're not trying to eat me, they're just very interested in my new boots here.
Yeah, that's right.
Speaking of Thanksgiving, did you know that a turkey lays up to 100 eggs per year, whereas a healthy chicken even more, almost 1 egg per day? Except for this guy, he's a boy. No eggs for you.
So we end up with somewhere between 320 to 330 eggs per year out of this barn.
Did you know to produce 1 egg, it takes a hen 24 to 26 hours?
A few years ago, we built this aviary system you can see behind me. Traditional cage-free, the birds were in a big open barn on a slatted floor. And instead of doing that, we built these where it has multiple levels and the birds can jump from level to level, as you can see happening behind me, and have a lot more activity. So what it does is it keeps the birds more engaged mentally, and we found that they seem really happy in it.
And all of these guys came from eggs. And that's it for our Did You Know segment. If you guys like to inquire about something in the community, don't forget to email us at events@joytv.ca. In the meantime, keep watching Fraser Focus.
You're watching Fraser Focus, local places and local faces.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Fraser Focus, local faces and local places. Right now we're in South Surrey with 70-year-old Denise in our Zumba class.
You know, some of us are going left, some of us go right, some of us the right hand goes up, some the left hand goes up, but you know, in the end it really doesn't matter because it's all about getting fit and having fun.
It doesn't take very long and you get to know the choreography and then you can give it more and have more fun that way.
Did you see me try and sneak in there? I was going this way, you're going this way. I'm just not...
Just back and forth.
All right, back and forth. Okay. Oh, no, wait. Couldn't figure it out.
I thought you did very well because when I face the class, it's pretty hard to do that mirror image thing.
I try and do something every day, and I try to get out and go for a walk down to the beach and back up, which probably, as you know, is a bit of a hike.
Oof. So you do a lot of walking, and you go to this coffee shop?
I go to this coffee shop because it's the best in White Rock.
Well,
good to see you. Good to see you. It really has made a big difference getting to know people in the community, and I find having done that, you start to think about, okay, what can I do? But I know you do a lot of other stuff too as well. For exercise, to promote the community, to think about different ways to bring people together.
I dance. I do dance. And
outside of Zumba?
Outside of Zumba.
Oh,
yeah.
What kind?
Party dancing.
The other thing is she's an avid traveler, so she and I will compare our travel stories because one of the things that you do when you don't have to work anymore is travel a lot.
You all right? Well, we're going to die. I think this is the only logical conclusion out of this particular series of events, is it?
You've been a great son.
So she's been all over the world, traveling to different places. She's been to the Far East, and she's been to Ireland, and she's been to Europe, so it's really interesting.
You say you're a first-time grandma.
First-time grandma, yes.
Yeah.
You know, I'm trying to stay fit and healthy so that when she starts walking, I can run after her and I can bring her down to the beach. We can go in the water.
So what's the secret to keeping the energy up?
It's having a purpose in life. And once you get to be 70 and up, it's kind of hard to find that sometimes. So you really have to, again, think outside the box, step outside your comfort zone.
Gonna keep doing some Zumba here. In the meantime, stay with us here on Fraser Focus. We'll be right back.
To be safe, you're driving in more severe winter conditions, you want that mountain snowflake designation. So the M&S gets you legally through there, but it doesn't necessarily get you safely through the mountains.
October marks National Car Safety Month. Welcome back to Fraser Focus. Last year, British Columbia introduced new driving guidelines, making it mandatory on certain highways to have the appropriate tyres.
Excuse me, ma'am.
When we talk about just winter tyres, a lot of people are coming in now. October the 1st, we know laws have changed. So people are looking for the M&S or they're looking for the snowflake? What do you got to look for with winter tyres?
So to be legal, driving through the mountain passes, you can have either the M&S or the snowflake. However, to be safe, you're driving in more severe winter conditions, you want that mountain snowflake designation. So the M&S gets you legally through there, but it doesn't necessarily get you safely through the mountains.
Perfect, actually. This is hooked up to a nitrogen line.
Now, when it comes to tyres, what you've actually got is 78% of actual nitrogen. 21% is oxygen, and you've got 1% left over for things like water vapor and CO2. Now, when it comes to water vapor, that's what makes Formula One drivers so excited. Water vapor is unpredictable, and when you're racing, you don't want anything that's unpredictable. However, does it matter to the everyday driver? Well, it certainly improves road grip for sure. Now, during this last winter, we saw some record-breaking snowfall around many areas of British Columbia. We had a chance to head up to Hemlock to get a grip on winter driving.
You know, you get stuck once, you never want to do it again. It's like the typical scenario of a break-in, right? You get the alarm after you get broken into. So somebody gets stuck, they have a little accident, maybe a bit of a scare with a hydroplane. They're going, right, I want to be prepared, make sure that my family's safe and the people around me on the road.
Most newer vehicles come with ABS or anti-lock braking system. What you do is you apply firm pressure to the brake, and that acknowledges to the car that you want maximum braking power. Now, if ABS fails, or if you don't have it, what you do is you pump the brake continuously until you feel the wheels lock and then release suddenly.
First tip is not to panic. If you start to panic, you start spinning out your tires or you get yourself more stuck.
One of the simplest things you can do is keep an emergency preparedness kit in your car. This will have things like a blanket, a flashlight, and jumper cables. Also, before you get going, make sure you have clear visibility.
The biggest thing that you want to make sure that you do, though, is clearing out in between, on the front and behind the tires.
Front and behind.
So you have room to rock.
Some people have talked about kitty litter. Does that work? Yes, yes it does. Do we have any? No, we don't.
At this time of year, serious crashes where people get injured or killed almost double. So for example, in the month of December, this is 236 crashes compared to October where there was 117 crashes.
Getting educated and being prepared is the best way to stay safe this winter season.
You're watching Fraser Focus. We're not done yet.
Teachable Moments are brought to you by Doyle & Associates Private Wealth Management with Investors Group Financial Services Incorporated. When it comes to priorities, where does speaking to your kids about money rank?
Very high, like 8 to 10.
Actually, he knows more than I do. I don't have to really teach him. I have to ask him, actually.
What would you like to see your kids do with their inheritance?
I would like her, and I know that she will, seek to help other people.
Assuming they get one, I'd like to see them invested and either buy themselves a house or a property or something like that.
Invest in a real estate.
Do you think your kids have the ability to manage an inheritance well?
Absolutely.
I would say so.
Today, no. Not at all.
What makes you the most anxious about your kids' money management skills?
I've watched her when I know that she doesn't know that I'm watching, and just her personal choices that she's made. I have no doubts about that at all.
They do have cars, which is a responsibility they do pay for, but extra money, there's no savings going on at all. That's what makes me the most anxious. There's no thought for the future.
Do you think your kids share your money values? If not, where do you think they got their money values from?
Well, he thinks that some ways my husband and I were a little too conservative.
My wife, who I've known since we were their age, was very good with money. I was the opposite. So they do unfortunately take after me at that age.
Why do we avoid talking to our kids about money? Talking with kids about money is an ongoing dialogue, not a one-time conversation. As your children grow older, their responsibilities, priorities, and relationships with money change, and conversations about money will evolve. If you want your kids to learn the necessity of budgeting, saving, and making great choices about money when their allowance runs out midweek, resist the temptation to bail them out. Families that have ongoing conversations around money enjoy greater financial success. When it comes to money talks, why are we conditioned towards silence? Whatever the cause of our awkwardness when it comes to money conversation, an increased dialogue around the subject is a necessity. Money conversations with your kids may be more powerful than you think. For tools to take the conversations further, talk with your financial planner about how they can help.
Teachable Moments are brought to you by Doyle & Associates Private Wealth Management with Investors Group Financial Services Incorporated.
And there you have it. You're watching Fraser Focus, local faces and local places.
If you have a story that you'd like us to share, please feel free to contact us. I'm Dean Atwell.
And I'm Leah Bolton. See you next week.